if he heard such moving testimony, he would be wise enough to let it speak for itself, because it was really compelling. And I appreciate the kind and very generous words about myself, but far more importantly about the community colleges. We have the state's most impressive leaders here today, talking about the pivotal role of community colleges in our state's proud past and bright future. In many ways, the stars are aligned for action. With Governor Cooper, Speaker Moore, President Pro Tem Berger, we have a strong bipartisan commitment to community colleges. They've consistently demonstrated their support for our mission throughout their public lives. And now we have the opportunity to do more, to achieve your goals, and to help our citizens achieve their dreams. With President Spellings, who has been a mentor to me over the past few years, and Jack Bailey, distinguished leader of the business community, we have great partners in the university and with employers, as well as with the public schools and independent colleges. With Steve Scott, he just exemplifies how our presidents, trustees, faculty, and staff at each of our 58 colleges are truly dedicated to student success and the success of our state. So it's fortunate that these stars are aligned, because now is the time for action. The challenges facing us are critical. How do we expand the number of North Carolinians with education beyond high school? How do we close the skills gap that we hear about from employers? How do we bridge the divide between the rural corners and city centers of our state? And what will the changing nature of work even look like in the coming years? Community colleges will be there, preparing North Carolinians to realize their full potential, building better lives with opportunities and careers, providing for their families, and helping our state grow and prosper. Community colleges are the next rung up on the ladder for so many. And for our state, community colleges are the edge in workforce development and economic development. A renewed investment in our community colleges will pay dividends for all North Carolinians. So, Mr. Chairman, it is a great honor for me to rejoin the community college team. I appreciate the vote of confidence from the board and your leadership along the way. And I'm also thrilled to work with a very talented system office staff led by the highly capable Jennifer Haygood, to whom we are all indebted. I'll close with a quick, light story that has a point. I hope you all will recognize it. I had a high school coach, and one day he was teaching us a lesson about we each have God-given talents. Some of them are obvious and some of them are hidden. And he pointed to me as an example, and he said, Peter, here, you know, he's small, but well, he's slow too. Thanks, Coach. It's very inspirational, very inspirational. His lesson was actually about extra effort, and being underestimated can often be an advantage, and I personally found that to be true. And you know why that's relevant here today is, you know who else is underestimated? The community colleges. Now our students are balancing, really juggling, jobs, families, life, school. I don't know how they do it, but they're busting their tails, and I'm going to bust mine to help them. So thank you. Let's get to work.
Well, again, I want to thank everyone for coming out today. I know some of these folks need to get on to other things, so I don't want to keep them too long, but If any of the media here do have any questions, we'll take a few minutes to try to answer some. And if not, then everybody have a great day.
The second is fine.
I have a question. Was wondering if you had to choose, let's say, the top 3 things that you're going to be working on as soon as you start, and I understand you're starting today, what would you say are your top 3 priorities?
Well, you may have heard we have a legislative session starting in a few weeks, and the community college family has come together with a list of legislative priorities that include an emphasis on the short-term vocational education training and the funding that we need there with, it's called the instructional funding model, which sounds kind of dry, but is really important in order to raise up the emphasis there and the equipment that they need to train workers for the jobs of today. Additionally, we have an enterprise resource planning process, which is technology. Again, sounds sort of dry, but incredibly important if we're able to capture the data we need to make good decisions and to help students streamline the process of their education. But obviously I want to spend time getting to know the state board better, getting to know the members of the system office staff, working with the presidents and trustees across the state. There's a lot to do. The community college's mission is so multifaceted and varied that I won't be taking many naps, I can assure you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there, Winnie with Spectrum News. What
Good
would you
morning.
say is the biggest challenge facing the community college system right now?
I think the opportunity is the potential for more investment, that we can stretch that dollar to prepare more North Carolinians for careers and opportunities, whether it's college transfer or a job, but we need the resources to do so. Hey, good morning, Jane.
I wonder, you talked about your students being underestimated. How can the system help them better complete and earn that certificate or degree?
Sure.
The rates are pretty low.
They are, and I think we can improve upon that. That's clearly something the state board has made a priority, and I believe the governor and the legislature are very interested in as well. It's, of course, as you know, very difficult to track the progress of a community college student because it tends to oftentimes stop and start. So the completion rates may not fully reflect one individual's path. But we've got to provide more support services for these students. A number of them are first generation college students. They're trying to, as I mentioned, juggle everything going on in their life with jobs and children, and to find transportation in many cases. It's really a question of keeping community colleges accessible, flexible, affordable, and those support services to help them complete their degree or certificate, as it may be. I just want to thank our speakers here today. What a marvelous commentary on the community college system. I appreciate you all.
Nobody can top
I've been wanting to call you live. Oh God, you and Andrew. It was Andrew watching it twice.
That's what
So, yeah, we've done a lot Well, you know what? I know, but I'll have to actually This is
Dr. McGee set the bar down, but I think she's probably got it down.